All right, you guys, Drake Riggs here with MMAnia.com with Dakota Ditcheva. Of course, Dakota, great to see you again. Happy, Wednesday? I got my days all mixed up, but we're here in Nashville. Last time I saw you, Dakota, we were in San Antonio for the kickoff of the tournament. Did you get your tacos?
No.
Oh my God.
Do you know, I talk a big talk when it comes to the food, and then after the fight, honestly, I just go to bed. I just go and get a quick McDonald's or something, and that's it.
Well, I guess at that time places aren't open either.
Yeah, that was another thing. Everything was closed as well, so I was so gutted. I was honestly fuming.
Oh yeah, that's no good. Well, any ideas here? You're gonna try this time, Nashville?
I think some kind of fried chicken.
Okay.
That's what I've been hearing, and I love fried chicken. So I think from going down to that strip, that road that everyone loves,
Broadway,
everything is open and wild all the time, so I'll definitely find something this time.
Of course, good choice. But yeah, Dakota, here we are, semifinals, playoffs, getting ready here, exciting stuff. I know we've talked about it before, but I know you said it's not easy, but you make it look so easy in there, right, with your wins and your victories and whatnot. Is there been a fight that you can remember that stands out maybe as like, oh, that was particularly maybe harder, more difficult to get through, or maybe even a camp leading up to it, like just a situation, I suppose?
Yeah, honestly, I think sometimes camps are harder.
Right.
You know, I think mentally when you have injuries and things like that, I think that's more of the fight than the actual getting in the cage itself. But yeah, I mean, every fight is difficult mentally, physically, you know, because of all the training that we've done, but it was definitely my one decision fight on my pro record. I messed up with my weight cut on that fight, and I paid for it because now I've got one decision win. So that's not exactly it's not exactly what I wanted. But I learned a lesson early on in my career. So for me, ever since then, I've kind of kept it up.
Yeah, it's been all systems go since then, no doubt. So with every fight, though, Dakota, as you continue to extend that undefeated record, people say pressure, all that stuff. I mean, the noise gets louder and louder. I know you're good at avoiding it, but is it getting harder to avoid all the things people say, whether it's fellow fighters or the public, because you're only getting more followers online and stuff like that,
Yeah, honestly, no, I don't really struggle with other people's pressures, like what they expect and things. It's more myself. I don't want to lose my my zero on my record, of course. So the pressure does get higher and higher each time. Fights get more important, especially in a season like this. Obviously, it's semi-finals and it's going to be finals, so the pressure does get more, but I deal with it very well. I train hard. I don't miss any sessions in camp. I'm there at the gym all the time. I'm locked in completely. So as long as I, train hard, fight easy, that's what we say. So I'm confident when I come to fight week because I've give everything I can in camp.
Whose critique gets to you the most, though?
Myself.
Okay.
Definitely myself.
Not mom or coach or anything?
I mean, definitely coach, but myself. I can come out of a sparring round and be like, that was shit. And my coach can be like, you did much better today. I like that. So it's there's no one harder on themselves than me, So I think that's another thing, I'm never satisfied with a good session,
Right.
I'm always wanting more out of myself, and that's probably what makes me the fighter I am. I won the Europeans last year. I'm not satisfied. The performances weren't perfect. I've still got loads more I need to develop in my skills, so I think that's what's kind of fueled me for this year. And the same, I'll do the same now. My last two performances were good, amazing to everyone else, but for me, I saw holes that I didn't like, and that's what's keeping me going.
So does a perfect performance even exist, really?
Definitely not in my head, no. A perfect performance doesn't exist. Perfect training session doesn't exist. I've kind of had to accept that now. My brother reminds me of that all the time, it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something to work on.
I mean, maybe Masvidal Askren's as good as it gets, something like that, right? Real quick, not a chance for mistakes.
Yeah, true.
But rare, very rare.
Yeah, very rare.
So, Dakota, though, as mentioned, with your record continuing to extend, the star power growing, all these things, I'm sure you don't care about it, but main event, would that have been something cool for you, to get the first one here? Obviously we're not, but that's why I'm asking, do you think you should be? Or is there anything about that tickles the fancy, I guess?
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not really bothered. Even co-main event wasn't really something that I was bothered about.
Yeah.
I think the fans do love it. I think that's why they did it. They put me on prelims on one of the, I think it was the first card, and then they switched me to the main card.
Right.
Because loads of people, I think, were commenting
Let's go
why, what are you putting her on the prelims for? So they changed that, and then it was co-main event next time. So I think they learnt the lesson for sure. But Yeah, honestly, I'm just like happy to just get in and showcase my skills as long as I'm on TV, because obviously that makes a difference.
Right.
I want to be able to showcase my skills to a wider audience, but I'm happy just to be here and performing.
Yeah, and the rounds don't change either.
No,
So like
exactly.
that's the thing
Yeah.
too. But eventually, that's the goal, right? Is to
Yeah,
have for
for
the
sure.
next one. So, of course, we got Jenna Bishop coming up though here, Dakota. Like a lot of people considering her your toughest test yet. She's still a big underdog, but the smallest underdog, I think, of
Yeah.
your opponents. Do you consider her your toughest? What are your kind of overall thoughts on her, I guess, as your next challenge?
I consider everyone tough. I don't underestimate anybody. I mean, I'm sure half the people, there's still so many people saying she's like just another can on my record. Another half will say, yeah, she's a little bit better. So you can't win,
Yeah.
So I don't even think about any of that. I'm just happy to get in and showcase my skills against another girl in this tournament and get through to the final. Yeah.
Are you expecting kind of a wrestling heavy approach from her? Because that's kind of, her strong suit. Everyone says, we haven't seen enough of that from you, like people, making their critiques and whatnot. But do you think she'll try and go that route?
Yeah, I think as soon as she feels the power and as soon as I hit her, she
Right.
definitely will, like everybody else. But at the same time, she stood and striked with Talia Santos. So, if she wants to strike, I'm sure she's capable of that. So I have to expect that as well.
And I heard you in there, and people asking you about prediction for the other fight, so I won't ask you that.
Yeah.
Don't really care. It doesn't matter.
I don't
Take
care,
them all
yeah.
on. But have you been more impressed with one's run than the other, Liz and Tyler, so far in the season?
No, not really. If I'm going to be completely honest, I respect them both, very high level women, but I'm not particularly there's not a standout
Grading them
performance
or
that I'm
anything,
yeah, that's all I got to say on that.
Fair enough. In a general sense, though, Dakota, I want to ask you, because it's fun to get kind of the perspectives, especially if someone who is so self-critical like yourself,
Yeah.
but in the grand scheme, when you get to inevitably that championship spot as you hope to be, it's kind of a debate I've noticed going online recently, just in general, but what do you find more impressive between a long reigning champion, like someone who can defend for, let's say, at least 5, the Anderson Silvas, the GSPs, those types, or the double champ? What is more impressive to you, or I guess maybe more interesting to you, but also impressive in a general sense?
I think personally both equally very good. I think it brings people get bored very easily in
Right.
sport.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep impressing the fans. So I think someone that's just going through one division is a bit boring. As soon as you change weight categories, everyone's refreshed and they're like, oh, it's something new, So I think that's probably what brings the excitement for the 2-weight champ. But equally, someone that's in, for me, I don't have any desire to move categories right now.
Or weight
125 is
troubles
perfect.
either, yeah.
I don't have any weight troubles. I walk around pretty much very, very light, probably lighter than a lot of fighters at 125. So for me, it would be stupid for me to go up right now. So I would just want to fight in my category. If that makes people boring, it does. But at the same time, if I'm performing and still getting the highlight reels, then
they say the hardest thing to do is, it's easier to become the champ than it is to stay the champ. So,
exactly, yeah. I think equally it's very impressive, but obviously I think it's just refreshing for someone to see you in a different category against different people.
Yeah, more variety and freshness, I guess. But yeah, everyone's got
very demanding, these fans,
Yes,
though.
Yes,
they get bored very quickly. They can turn on you very quick, so you have got to keep it moving.
Absolutely. But all right, Dakota, I won't keep you much longer here. But before I do let you go, do you want to play another game of Explain This Post?
Of course.
All right, I think this won't catch you off guard maybe as much as the last one, but
okay.
This one is from film. You posted it last year, but I'll put this on the screen for the viewers. But the quote is, somewhere behind the athlete you've become and the hours of practice and the coaches who have pushed you is a little girl who fell in love with the game and never looked back. Play for her. Do you remember this moment from what the picture is from?
I do, yeah. That is obviously my mum's gym. That's part of my mum's gym that she's had for over 30 years. So when I say I was tiny, pushing my prams around at that age, while my mum was coaching, but the sport wasn't really an interest for me at that time. And then I came back to it myself, obviously fell in love with it. And I think I posted that probably at a time where I was struggling. It's the start of the year, and I sometimes get a little bit lost, especially before I signed with PFL. I was not sure what direction I wanted to go with the sport, and when you've been doing it for so long, it's and you don't feel like you're progressing where you want to be. It can be a tough time, and you're thinking, is this worth it? Obviously training's hard, dieting's hard, it was probably at a time where I was like feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
But I think, play for her, that little girl there that fell in love with the sport, just loved being in the gym. I think, that was what was behind the quote. You just have to fall in love with it and just go for that person that dreamt at the beginning. Don't forget that for sure.
All right, perfect. I love that. That's great. A little nostalgia there, right?
Yeah, I love looking at them photos.
Do you remember when, you probably don't remember yourself, but like when your mom told you that she noticed a real interest when you were younger?
I think obviously when I was 4, around that age, I was like not interested at all. She put me into loads of different sports and she didn't want me to do it. And then when I came back to it myself, it was a little bit like, there was a time where she's been like, oh no, and then she'd give me that talk of, if you're going to do this, you need to put your all into it. And then like for years and years, she's always said to me, like, she's always asked me like, are you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, if you ask me that one more time, like, I'm going to get you in the cage, I'm going to get you in the ring, like, yes, I want to do this. So I think they're probably the memories that I remember from her.
All right, perfect. Well, on that note, Dakota, I will let you go. Best of luck. It is
Thank
always
you so
great getting to
much.
see you, and look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's cheers on it.
Thank you.